My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence, that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. Alrighty, this is just a reminder about what the entity is doing over Emporia Place. This is just the other day, okay? This is the same Hope Boulevard, and they are, while the fake moon is over me, at Sultana and Hope Boulevard, while the people of the state are not engaged in driving in traffic, engaged in any private or constitutionally protected activity. They're engaged in surveillance, stalking, while the government at a specific location on Holt Boulevard, where they're feigning a takeoff at Vos Church. Okay, don't forget that at Vine and Holt, but at Vine and Sultana, they're engaged in acting like they're taking off here and then getting in alignment to me. I'm on this street at this location where they're in alignment to me in the dark, under what is the fake moon. And the entity is engaging in this on the same street where they're acting like you're ignorant and that they're taking off over the El Pollo Loco at the Stater Brothers, the subway, the Stater Brothers parking lot. This is the entity that is stalking. Now, along Hope Boulevard is west, and that's a distance. So they're flying, again, miles west to necessarily lower in elevation again and repeat this conduct, okay, with the population of demons who are stalking. This is the P.O.C. That's the prosecution of every business. That's the prosecution of Subway, of the Ontario Village Shopping Center, of El Pollo Loco, of the Emporia Place apartment complex, of the gang stalking Vos Church, of the people of the state who are monitoring on the roads and the highways, with the government that's maintaining psychopathic pacing where there is no takeoff, and they're doing the exact same thing over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. I mean, the exact same thing, rising up in elevation. This is the entity that is stalking with commercial planes, which is psychotic. This is a criminal cooperative effort with the fake police department. Stalking by planes, psychotic, under a fake moon, psychotic, doing so while you're being documented and engaging in more of it, psychotic. That's the P.O.C. Southwest Airlines is dipping behind the B&G Plaza like they're landing here. When you're looking at them engaging in the same kind of, you're doing cartwheels, you're flying at a higher elevation, you're doing so west of this location, you're doing so much more east of this location, you're doing so when you're nowhere near the airport. I've shown you the entity gang stalking me aboard Omnitrans on the bus. This is P.O.C. The people of the state are light-slinging gargoyles. They're inside of their apartment homes stalking. And that's exactly what this specific environment, which includes stalking by the government, will place you in the status of, because the demon-possessed population will never speak to what is the criminal surveillance system, the beast system, gang stalking. And that's okay, because stalkers don't have to tell you anything. You're going to document them stalking you, and then you're going to submit that documentation, and you're going to prosecute them, period. This is P.O.C. It is currently 5:51 a.m. at Sultana and Holt Boulevard, where the entity is stalking as an airport, which is the people of the state's prosecution. P.O.C. Alrighty, you'll see in the videos that I'm capturing purely license plates. This is City of Ontario commercial planes. This is City of Ontario stalking in the sky space as well. That's FedEx. And that's Audible Activity Union Pacific. And that's an establishment which is Cardenas, that's a gang stalker. I want to be clear, the entity is monitoring on the roads and the highways. What you'll see in the video is ongoing targeting. First of all, where the entity is hovering, because this is hovering, doing cartwheels, just plain stalking in the sky space where I'm at. This is Campus and Holt. And this is FedEx, by the way. Again, like I stated, that's FedEx. This is the fake moon that's over me, and this is where the fake sun is prepared to rise. There it is right there. There's the fake sun. This is the entity that is targeting together using Amazon on the Union Pacific Railroad tracks. That's entirely specific and targeted. And Amazon Prime is getting its due appreciation for terrorism. This is the entity that is exposing itself. There are no hurt feelings when you're federally prosecuting terrorists. This is an entity that's engaging in the pattern of conduct, amplified audible activity, psychopathic pacing, Comet Electric. I documented all these terrorists, many of whom are immigrants. They're being deported. Everyone connected to them is being deported as well. This is the entity that's engaging in surveillance with the City of Ontario, that's gang stalking with the commercial airline companies that are engaging in the City of Ontario's pattern of conduct. The entity is doing so very much targeted. That's why they are stalking. FedEx is stalking. Southwest Airlines is stalking. The entity is doing so as I'm in the parking lot of Cardenas, as I go to the back street behind Cardenas, as I come across the street from Cardenas. You will see the video documentation where I'm capturing purely license plates. And in this video, which I'm going to use as a video that I'm publishing as I'm narrating the pattern of conduct, where 7 Charlie Frank Wendy 016 is gang stalking as you are listening to me speak. When I'm capturing the videos that have the corrupt officials such as in Ontario, Paul Leon, as the thumbnail, because you are looking at who is being federally prosecuted, you're looking at who's being removed from office. That's the video, and you will see plane after plane after plane, while the people of the state, of all nationalities, of immigrant status, representing corrupt companies like FedEx, Amazon Prime, UPS, Comet Electric, doing so at establishments like Donut Palace, doing so while they are making money and the entities engaged in the surveillance, doing so while the fake moon is over me and the fake sun is then rising to take over that identification of an environment where the entity is clearly targeting, like what the entity is showing here. This is P.O.C. and Omnitrans is engaging in the pattern of conduct while they are using the bus lines, monitoring me. Very hostile when I go from city to city and document, by the way. Omnitrans is engaging in the pattern of conduct while they arrive on time, while they don't arrive at all, while they arrive late. It's relevant to what is under all circumstances targeting. The entity, just like with the Wi-Fi and internet, there are no malfunctions. They are engaging in the ability to arrive whenever they want to because it's a cooperative targeting system. This is the entity that's manufacturing and creating the illusion of privacy, also the illusion of circumstances outside of their control. The entity is engaging in surveillance, which is revealing what is absolute control over the circumstances and over everyone that they are keeping under surveillance. All right, this is P.O.C. I'm prosecuting because the government doesn't control anything. They're being prosecuted. They can't even control the way in which you are able to see very clearly the mentally ill. These are the Nephilim, COCONUX, 8GDY509, 9LDF793, 8ZEE676, EM33C85. That's the Nephilim. Those are demons, and that was psychopathic pacing, one demon after another after another. Comet Electric is going to be federally prosecuted. The entity is stalking by flying over Holt Boulevard, flying over Monterey, all these houses over here. The entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct as I'm walking through the neighborhood. These broke down, poor neighborhood, they're engaging in the very expensive federal offense and terrorist crime of gang stalking. And they can't even afford to pay the rent. They can't afford to pay for their households, and they're engaging in this conduct. And that is, again, what's going to be inevitable with regard to impoverishing what is the entity that's gang stalking. They will be going into what is extreme poverty. The government's not going to assist them. You're immigrants, you're not going to stay in this country. The criminal record is going to preclude them from getting employment. The entity is going to be shut down because the government's not even going to be in a position to assist the entity anymore. This is a form of compensating terrorism when they get government assistance, incentivizing it. License 7K71475. You're not going to incentivize the poor to engage in terrorism. This is P.O.C. What you'll pay attention to in all my videos as well, you'll see the stalkers stopping in the middle of the road, aiming their lights toward me, just sitting there like there's some sort of standoff. You're looking at stalkers. And they did that time and time again this morning on video. Pay attention to that. Those are demons. This is P.O.C. and they are stalking under all circumstances. This is license plate for Wendy Thomas Yolanda 402, maintaining presence on behalf of the state, driving down a side alley. There's no airport over here on Holt. Okay, this is not Airport Road. They're not coming from the terminals. This is stalking, and this is what the entity's been doing, plane after plane after plane, doing so through the neighborhood over here, doing so while I'm on the back street over here, flying in alignment to me, just like FedEx did, flying over here and then doing a cartwheel. This is what, like I was stating, this is exactly the conduct of San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department over Etowanda and 4th Street. While I'm chained up on the buses and they're engaging in kidnapping, the entity engaging what is hovering like this over the buses, over the West Valley Detention Center, while San Bernardino County would drive on to and off of the property, while the entity is engaging in, this is a ritual. You understand that this is satanically significant to the demon possessed. What is actually happening in the physical is they're engaging in surveillance and they're being prosecuted, and they're going to be committed for what is mentally ill behavior that they share in together. That is UPS and FedEx sharing in that. And they're doing the exact same thing, by the way, west of this location over the Stater Brothers. So this is indeed stalking. They're doing so under the fake sun. They're doing so while they are monitoring the evidence as it's being captured in real time. The demons that are gang stalking in this manner are going to be committed, and they're also going to prison. This is P.O.C. This is the same conduct of the Ontario Police Department. It's not different. P.O.C. You're looking at precision. This is the demon that is stalking in the path. Very precise placement. Mentally ill conduct. 76838 Henry 4. P.O.C. That's the pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. It is currently 6:49 a.m. This is at Holt and Campus. This is the prosecution of the U.S. government. The U.S. government that is riddled with demons. Alrighty, and this is a threat to the life of an American citizen, which you're going to compensate for. It's becoming actionable. You're going to enforce your rights. It is inhumane while the government is engaging in satanic means of surveillance, in furtherance of murder, stealing my money, my identity in order to do so, lying on my character. When you're looking at the government that is demon possessed, that's actually so mentally ill, they are likened to those that consume their own feces. And this is the entity that's engaging in this absurd level of deranged behavior while they are criminally monitoring. And they are doing so as a population. And that's what I have the public service I provided is identifying them where they live, identifying the neighborhoods. So you are able to associate them wherever you are in the country with what's going on in California, and you are able to block them in whatever area that you find necessary to protect yourself, to protect your government, to protect your community, to protect your business. All right, this is P.O.C. It is currently 6:50 a.m. Omnitrans is monitoring while the entity is stalking by planes. P.O.C. Yeah. Asking questions that they know the answer to. They're listening to everything that I'm documenting. This is Route 61. Fake sun remains in the window of the bus the entire route.
Airport terminal.
It's 6:57 a.m. This is 1840 East Hall. This is light activity under the fake sun. These are the gang stalking construction workers. 78080 Paul 2. 38738 They're gang stalking. They're engaging in surveillance with the state. This is Holt and Vineyard. This is the same bus route 61 going toward the city of Fontana, and everything that's happening under the illusion of the natural environment, and it's an unintelligent illusion that's it's very clear for everyone to see, including you that are outside of Ontario, California, far from what is Holt Boulevard and Euclid Avenue, where the state has kept a fake sun over me from sunrise until sunset. On Holt Boulevard right now, what you're witnessing is the fake sun over me. It's not even 7 a.m., it's 6:58 a.m. The people of the state are engaging in surveillance on the roads and the highways, which is a threat to the safety of American citizens. They don't have car accidents in California. They have organized acts of violence and murder. And they also implement the insurance system to profit from it. The fake sun is over me on this same bus route at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the fake sun is turning as the bus turns. This is the entity that's engaging in this. This is employee number 3400. The employee is monitoring, and so is Omnitrans, as I documented while I'm not on the bus, as I documented while FedEx, Southwest Airlines, UPS are gang stalking, not coming from this airport or this property, where the entity is gang stalking in Upland, California, and AMR is engaged in psychopathic pacing with lights and sirens on Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, under the fake sun. This is the entity that's engaging in that surveillance when you look at the asininity of what they're doing, and they're clearly stalking, and AMR is stalking now as well. That none of this is sunlight, and this is not the sun. That's along the same route. Moreover, what you're paying attention to is the venue that's being shut down is the Ontario International Airport. Okay, the Ontario International Airport is hosting terrorists that are the commercial airline companies that I'm showing you are stalking me throughout the cities. The airline companies are gang stalking at the Fontana Lewis Library, flying over my head, gang stalking me at the Fontana Metrolink train station, flying over my head while I am documenting the pattern of conduct by the City of Ontario. License 9 George Zebra Bob 849 is stalking, and very specifically stalking a person that they know and what that person is doing and what they're doing on that device, and also the state of that person's genitalia. These are sex offenders monitoring 24 hours a day. They are demons, and they are under the fake sun. It is 6:59, 7 a.m. in the morning right now, and the sun is not going to be in alignment to anyone's vehicle on the same street over the same property. And as I'm capturing, I am the same person capturing this significant conduct at what is hours from now on the same route, even going to the same city. This is going toward Fontana. This is while the entity is also at the same time keeping the fake sun rising over me, while Amazon Prime is following, stalking at the bus stop where the fake sun is rising at 537 North Euclid Avenue. I'm on the bus crossing where the terminals where Amazon Prime Air are stationed, and there is no takeoffs where Amazon Prime Air is taking off from this airport that would consist of them flying over my head, being anywhere near the bus stop, or sharing a sunrise. Okay, this is the P.O.C. This is the entity that's engaging in activity. Employee number 3400 is engaging in surveillance in furtherance of murder in the midst of the documentation, and that's impunity. And every bus driver is engaged in this same criminal pattern of conduct. This is the P.O.C. It is currently 7:01 a.m. Not going onto the property of the of the airport is the entity that's still engaged in the same exact pattern of conduct. The fake sun, you already know, follows as the bus goes around the property, as it is following now. The entities engaging in this, and there is no natural environment where you are looking at the evidence that I have supplemental to this at 7 a.m., at 9, 10, 11, 12, as I'm capturing this P.O.C. coming from Pomona and going to Fontana, like what the entity tried to delete and block from your ability to see. This is the entity that's engaging in that pattern of conduct. You're going to look at that evidence. This is the same airport drive where the fake sun is over me while I'm on the same bus route going toward the same destination, Fontana, California. This is P.O.C. All right, the entity is engaging in what is deviating from the routes as I document them, and this is employee 3400, using even the PA system to do so as monitoring, and it's very specific because I'm capturing. But this is the entity that is engaging that P.O.C. nonetheless. This is relevant to the evidence that I have of the entity that is gang stalking as I go from city to city, flying over my head in Pomona, California by the gang stalking airlines. This is where the airport is. An air takeoff is completed over the sky space of an airport, not in adjacent cities. Okay? This is the entity that's engaged in stalking me through the neighborhoods where I'm documenting the people of the state, and this is their prosecution. They are stalking as a population in furtherance of murder. This is P.O.C. Turning on Archibald now at 7:03 a.m. This is where I'm capturing yesterday the entity that is engaged in criminal summoning with merchants at Archibald and Inland Empire Boulevard. The entity that's gang stalking with light activity, Herc Rentals, doing so at Archibald and Inland Empire. The entity engaging in what is covering up this fake sun, which is no deviation from your ability to identify what they're doing, which is stalking with light, utilizing criminal summoning, which is what Ontario Police and the American Medical Response are engaging in. And this is the entity that's doing so. Covering up the fake sun yesterday at 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning is not deviating. They're still stalking with light. The fake sun is showing you who is the target, and you already know who it is. The person that's been documenting this the entire time. The entity is maintaining plane activity as I documented yesterday over here, flying over the parking lot, flying over the Ontario Gateway Plaza, flying over while I am capturing the entity along the Tim Freeway, while they're hovering, while FedEx and UPS and Southwest Airlines is hovering over the Cardenas while I'm on Hope Boulevard and campus. While you're looking at where the location of the airport is, at what is Airport Drive. Okay, this is the entity that is indeed engaging in stalking. So you're looking at the totality of circumstances. The people of the state are terrorists, and this is a surveillance state. And they are all together engaging in what is monitoring me and knowing exactly where I'm located and what I'm doing. And this is the reality of demon possession. This is a demonic system, and your knowledge of that is the fact that a fake sun is remaining over all of them while they are stalking me from place to place. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:04 a.m. under the fake sun along Route 61 going toward the city of Fontana, which I'm doing hours from now, capturing the exact same environment, which is how you know that they're demons, number one, and number two, that this is indeed state surveillance, gang stalking, and it is committed in furtherance of murder, and this is the entity that stole my wealth. This is P.O.C. Capturing this because this is evidence of what the entity was doing yesterday while merchants is gang stalking, trying to break into the bathroom inside of the AM/PM, while police are engaged in criminal summoning at this intersection via Molinara, while Herc Rentals is gang stalking at the intersection. This is the entity that's engaging in this conduct, covering up the fake sun. These are demons that are short-sighted. They only think about that moment in time. When I stated the case, I already have the evidence of the fake sun aboard Omnitrans at all hours of the day. This is Archibald and Inland Empire, where the fake sun is giving reference to what Herc Rentals is doing, which I documented, inside of this business plaza, many of whom the people of the state I documented. The entity that's engaging in what is gang stalking with Griffith Company, maintaining light activity, all of whom I documented while they're engaging in that. And covering up the fake sun is not changing the pattern of conduct. This fake sun is letting you know that the entire state, every single last person, and as you prosecute the government and a people, you're looking at what is a population that is targeting one person. And they do that with regard to murder while they're monitoring. And these are demons. These are monitoring spirits. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently 7:06 a.m. violation of a state actor that is Omnitrans, and they are in violation of local, state, and federal laws while they are gang stalking. This is employee 3400 that's engaged in monitoring with the people of the state, who are literally using the stop signal like you hear to monitor. That's how psychotic the pattern of conduct is. And they're engaging in sexual assault and battery with impossible light, and the proof is the fake sin. This is the entity that's sharing in that, as the employees are engaging in it, and they're also doing so while they are monitoring the evidence. So that is a hostile stalker, co-conspirator of murder, that then engages in sexual violence because they're hostile to being documented as what they are and what they're doing. And that's also actionable in civil court, meaning damages for that. This is a pattern by Omnitrans and all of its gang members that engage in harassing while they operate the coaches, because I'm documenting Omnitrans. And this is also the government that's going to be federally prosecuted for the gang violence of Omnitrans. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:15 in the morning, where I am located at what is the 15 freeway, the 4th Street in Ontario Mills, where there's a wealth of documentation of the fake sun over me, literally like in the middle of the afternoon. And the entity has a fake sun over me now during daylight savings time at 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's how you know. You already know because I have a body of evidence, but anyone that would assert something as psychotic as light coming out of nowhere, they're not mentally ill. That's the purpose of this documentation. And the mentally ill entity is going to be subject to commitments. Stalking being with light is going to have you in a mental institution. It's also a basis of federal prison while you're threatening my life on the roads and the highways, gang stalking with the government that's following with planes and helicopters. The entity's engaged in this at what is 4th Street. This is the 15 freeway, stalking me under the fake. This is a threat that is communicated literally through the environment, let alone molesting me with impossible light. This is, again, employee number 3400. This is P.O.C. stalking me with hundreds of people. This is all manner of a threat, and I'm going to prosecute for it. This is P.O.C. This is, and get, as you can see, employee 3400, 7:16 a.m. P.O.C. Alright, this is 9720 Jennifer Avenue at 7:37 in the morning. And you'll recall this same location when I'm coming from Pomona, California, hours from now, and the fake sun is in alignment to me on the passenger side of the bus where I'm seated, and the fake sun is following in the direction that the bus goes. And I captured on that day the fake sun proceeding to go straight while the bus driver deviated from the bus route. That is also published to the public. That is also relevant to targeting me, specific to me. The entity's engaging in that while the fake sun is over, so regardless of what explanation they give, it is P.O.C. And then the next day, the fake sun turns as the bus turns, as it's supposed to, via the published bus route for 61. And the entity's doing this at what is 7:38 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is Sam and Jennifer. The fake sun turns as the bus turns in alignment to me. The entity is keeping the fake sun while I'm waking up at the bus stop on Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California, where the Ontario Police Department are exhibiting severe mental instability with which it's going to be used to have been committed or engaging in criminal conduct that is of a psychopathic, maniacal nature. It is also sexually violent. It is shared with the people of the state. This is the entity that is stalking with light. You can see my shadow appearing in front of me while I'm looking at the fake sun that's in front of me. This is also impossible light activity. It's also impossible because the fake sun is in an entirely different location, as my evidence shows. The entity is monitoring everybody in their homes. These are facilitating venues and not private properties, and the people of the state are going to be prosecuted. Malicious venues like Starbucks engage in under the guise of being private property, where they are engaging in what is discrimination, engaging in harassment, more than poor customer service. It's because they're gang stalking, and they're maliciously doing so. Where there is no such thing as private property in this specific environment. It's the government that's maintaining a facilitating where you are under surveillance in furtherance of your murder, and even asserting private property as a malicious basis, and it's the basis of prison. The entity used that to engage in kidnapping with the Ontario Police Department on more than one occasion. The same Ontario Police Department that are stalking and monitoring my vagina. That's how much of a stalker the entity is. Okay, that's very malicious. This is P.O.C. The fake sun is turning on the specific street that the bus turns while I am being targeted into the city of Fontana. It is currently 7:40 a.m. This is the Dino Papalubero, like a senior citizen home. This is the entity. This is all engineer light. All right. The old people are monitoring. Okay, that's what this is. The government is monitoring through everyone, everywhere. including as they get on and off the bus, which is under existing federal law, federal stalking under Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. It is surveillance on the roads and the highways. Dina Papavero, that's the name of this venue right here. Where the entity is P.O.C. Alrighty, this is not just impossible, it is demonic, and it is the evidence of the government that is engaging in what is a pattern of conduct.
1961-329.
Alrighty, you're going to pay attention to what I documented just as of late, and pay attention to it because the entity went out of its way to try to block you from being able to witness what's going on in Pomona, California at the same time, or what's going on in Montclair when I'm not coming toward Fontana until hours later from now on April 4th. The entity that's maintaining this pattern of conduct, as I am on the same route going to the same destination at a later time. And I've been documenting this as a matter of history for a prolonged period, showing that there is no anomaly, there's no exception, there are no coincidences, it's not an accident, neither is it accidentally occurring over and over and over again. This is the pattern of conduct. This is the Nephilim. This is the demon-possessed that are engaging in surveillance, and it is throughout the United States. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:42 a.m. Just so you can see all the people that are stalking. They're referred to as the people of the state, and they maintain no privacy, no constitutional protections, and there is no defense for the prosecution of the entity in court. This and Sierra. Yes, sir. It is currently 8:35 a.m. and my location is pivotal for understanding the pattern of conduct. The pattern of conduct is recognized within that specific environment, and in that specific environment, you are looking at stalkers that are maintaining a whole illusion regarding society, especially in the United States. But it's granted to those that are outside of the United States as well, because this is demonic. Satan is not limited to any particular jurisdiction or people, all right? In the same way, it's not about age or race. It's not about your appearance on the outside, how beautiful or unattractive you or other people think you. It has nothing to do with that. Satan is interested in deceiving you about yourself, but this is about the public entity that is using a population that are in this environment. And this environment that you're looking at now is a scientific impossibility, and within that scientific is criminal conduct indiscriminately underway by a population, okay? And the population is demon possessed. Not only is the population demon possessed, the demon possessed population is engaging in what is criminal activity on behalf of the government, which is making the government present everywhere that you are at. That is literally the government that is stalking. The government that's engaging in surveillance is a synonym for that. And it is criminal, and it is a matter of public corruption. I'm here in California exposing that. This is exposing what the U.S. government is doing throughout the country. And the entity is doing so under what is a fake sun. Now, I am on what is Spring Street and Sierra Avenue. And if you're aware of my being inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, which is what you see here, Exhibit A, while I'm inside of this Fontana Lewis Library on fake sun in this manner after 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And as upon my exit, the entity is maintaining a fake sun on this side of the Fontana Lewis Library, where the people of the state are engaged in this same conduct on the roads and the highways, and the fake sun's in the same position that it would be on. It's 8:35 is when I started. It's currently 8:37. Let's count together. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 hours later, you have what is impossible, that license plate 9 Xavier Nancy Jerry 326, a gang stalking male that's a sex offender that's engaged in what is the systematic provision of the government's ability to enable him to monitor a woman's vagina and to avoid being prosecuted and identified or ever exposed as a sex offender. This is the public service of the P.O.C. This is the entity that's exposing the demon-possessed that are violent sex offenders of both genders. They are engaging in this indiscriminately on behalf of the government, and it's an unspoken system. In fact, this is the beast system. And that's how you have what is inexplicable, that which no imbecile is going to speak of. In fact, they're demon-possessed. They don't even understand the significance of everything that they're doing. They know that they're monitoring. They know that they're monitoring. They know that it is unlawful. They know that it's something that they're never to speak of. They know that they're supposed to play a role. I don't know you. I'm not stalking you, and you're crazy. End of story. That's the government system. The entity, that's called malice. The entity has a fake son over here. I will prosecute you, and every syllable that comes out of your face is going to be used to have you committed, especially while you're stalking with impossible light, under a fake sun that is here 10 hours later, while you are targeting me particularly, while that fake sun is in alignment to me in the same manner that it is in the morning, in the evening, inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. The San Bernardino County, by the way. It's a San Bernardino County venue. That is a reference to the government as well. This is the P.O.C. The entity is engaging in this at all places and at all times, including where the sex offenders reside, which is not private property. This is breaking down the illusion of what the U.S. government has provided, a forum for lawlessness, a forum for criminal conduct of a highly malicious nature, and this is capturing it in Fontana, California. This is indeed the P.O.C. I will attach a video so that you can get a vivid image regarding what it is that I'm describing, but those that have been paying attention to the P.O.C., you know exactly what's going on as I'm showing an example of it at the Fontana Lewis Library. This is P.O.C. That is the state that is monitoring to what is psychopathic pacing by a demon-possessed entity. Their focus is to stalk me. Whether they're going to work, whether they're driving to their auntie's house, whether they're coming from out of state, driving through the neighborhood, they are specifically taking this path in order to maintain occupation, their occupying presence, as demons that are engaged in criminal monitoring. Monitoring is demonic activity. The government is monitoring, thus criminal monitoring, which is requiring stalking. Stalking that is shared by a population that maintains no constitutional rights to engage in it. And it is proven beyond a reasonable doubt and to a scientific degree. This is the prosecution of the government and the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government. 9 Charlie Nancy Paul 228. This is P.O.C. Spring Street and Sierra. 8:41 a.m. Fontana, California. AT&T is gang stalking. You already know that. This is psychopathic pacing as you're going to analyze the people of the state. They want to show themselves to be psychopaths. You're going to apply the facts and analyze it accordingly. AT&T is engaging in psychopathic behavior, criminal, and it's also psychopathic. The demons operating those vehicles, license 09057S3. The people of the state are not only individuals within the entity, they are the companies that represent persons under the law. Those persons are being prosecuted. They're engaged in the pattern of conduct. Psychopathic pacing shared by 9 David Mary Jerry 687. This is P.O.C. Okay, this is very psychotic, but this is evidence. This is the P.O.C. and this is Amazon Prime. Mr. Bezos is going to be subject to what is liability, and this is exposing as a terrorist leader. This is Amazon Prime, and there is absolutely no basis for the entity that's engaged in flying over this particular sky space. This is while a stalker comes to this particular side of the building to occupy presence. This is a demon-possessed person, and that's a demon-possessed person that's stalking as a company, stalking in a plane, stalking as an entity, stalking under the fake sun. And this is the Fontana Lewis Library. This is the Steel Workers Auditorium side. This is the Fontana Lewis Library. This is the Fontana Civic Center. So that's letting you know about Miss Aquanetta Warren. The Fontana City Hall is right here. The Fontana Police Department is right here. The Fontana Chamber of Commerce within the same. This is the government that's engaging in criminal activity with the city of Fontana, targeting me where the fake sun is over me. I'm in Pomona at the same time. Okay, I took documentation of this yesterday in Fontana, but I'm taking opportunity since Amazon Prime is engaging in. Amazon Prime is a reference to the entity. I'm going to prosecute that company, but that company is the entity that's gang stalking. It's the pattern of conduct. This is the fake sun that is over me. And as a matter of documentation, this same police department is stalking me by helicopter when I'm standing in the same location upon my exit of the Fontana Lewis Library after 5 p.m. And this fake sun is over me. So I'm standing over here and I'm facing this direction and the fake sun is over me. It's a darker orange amber color. I'll attach that video. There are no commercial planes from any airport where they would be, any plane would be hovering, let alone you're looking at where they're doing it. That's letting you know everybody that's gang stalking: the Fontana Police Department, the city of Fontana, the mayor, the Fontana City Council. This is the P.O.C. Okay, they dress up in suits and then come sit in their office, and turns out they're a bunch of vagina monitors, and I'm exposing them. This is criminal activity. It's public corruption. This is not different from the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is P.O.C. This is where the entities engaged in the pattern of conduct. When I'm arriving at the Fontana Lewis Library in the afternoon, when I'm leaving in the evening, and the fake sun is still over me, which I have documented over a term of years. And then you have the entity exposing the fact that the government is stalking through commercial airline planes while they're flying over the property of Fontana Lewis Library under the fake sun. This is the P.O.C. I just want to be clear. The Ontario International Airport is being shut down. The Ontario International Airport is gang stalking in the city of Ontario. The gang stalking airlines that include Amazon Prime Air shall be federally prosecuted, as they are exposing themselves as the terrorists that I've been telling you that they are, as the documentation is showing that they are. UPS committed murder in Kentucky. Okay, they're not having accidental collisions into military helicopters. This is an entity that's engaging in acts of terrorism, murder. These are the demons that are gang stalking. This demonic system. This is the beast system. This is P.O.C. That foolish exposition of corruption under the fake sun is occurring at the same time when I am in Pomona, California, and the entity is hovering over my head at the exact same time in LA County. And at this same time at 9:35, Ontario Police, the city of Ontario, the city of Pomona, the city of Fontana, are sharing in that pattern of conduct aerial surveillance of a psychopathic nature, stalking me amongst everyone else, and also doing so while I am capturing the evidence of it. So these are the demon possessed. This is the beast system, and I could not make this up if I wanted to. The entity is going to be subject to what are mass commitments and mass imprisonment. It's speaking to deportation of the entity, any immigrants, any and all of them. This is the entity that is a threat to minor children. They maintain this pattern of conduct while being in custody of children, and they're gang stalking vagina monitors. And this is a crime committed by a society, a demon-possessed one. This is P.O.C. It's 9:36 a.m. Alrighty, it is currently 10:20 a.m., which you'll see with regard to the people of the state who are being federally prosecuted as sex offenders and terrorists who are stalkers. They're engaging in positioning inside of the Fontana Lewis Library with regard to monitoring where it is that I typically sit in the venue. This is also the objective of making sure that every corner is occupied, but the entity is literally going to the computers that I typically sit at, and I did document those sex offenders. They are in the environment where I also have documented the impossible light activity, while they are demons that are monitoring on behalf of the government that is stalking me through the people of the state that go to, oh, she sits at that computer, sit there, she sits at that computer, make sure you sit behind there, sit surround there, keep the fake sun over there, and engaging in what is stalking with impossible light there, while the entity is doing like what you see Amazon Prime doing, flying over the middle of the Fontana Civic Center where the fake sun is present after 5 p.m. and the same Civic Center is engaging in surveillance by helicopter, which is what I documented in 2022 after 5 p.m., which is again the equally irreconcilable environment where the city of Fontana has been engaged in the documented years of a criminal conspiracy to commit murder, and they engage in psychotic methods of stalking, such as inside of a building and engaging in surveillance, doing so while they are demons that are engaging in this. They're also engaged in corporate vagina monitoring. They're gross sex offenders. This is P.O.C. This is what you'll see captured in the images inside of the library. The library is the government. It's the city of Fontana. It is P.O.C. This is City of Fontana pacing with communication devices. The keys are audible activity while they're monitoring with the people of the state. He's monitoring what I'm uploading on my phone, doing so with the gang stalking janitors, the females that go in to engage in vagina monitoring by cleaning the bathroom, timing their moments when they go into the bathroom to engage in surveillance centered around a toilet use with regard to gang stalking inside of the library. This is the entity that's engaged in that. The keys, that's the entity that's maintaining noise. He's pacing all around me with an iPad in his hand. He's in the venue where the fake sun is over and the entity is stalking over this venue and is engaging in this conduct. This is harassment by the entity that's going to be prosecuted for all the ways in which they are monitoring. They're going to be prosecuted for all of it. This is the City of Fontana. It's P.O.C. This is surveillance by the City of Fontana that you see at Merrill and Sierra, vagina monitoring with ARCO, with Vector, using utility vehicles, and Aquanetta Warren is hereby represented and she's being documented. No terrorists are staying in office. This is P.O.C. It's 10:49 a.m. Alrighty, it is 11:03 a.m. Criminal summoning while stalkers pace inside of the library. This is what the librarians who are state employees are engaging in, with the demons that are here to engage in surveillance, perusing for books in the aisles, is relevant positioning and light activity and audible activity. And the entity is engaging. This is the City of Fontana that's maintaining criminal surveillance. This is the entity of demons that are stalking with the use of sirens and lights. And then the demons that are inside. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I could not find this book. Oh, and now I am so excited. These are malicious vagina monitors that are stalking inside of a library when they don't actually even know how to read. That is not an exaggeration, and have never even thought about where is a library in the city until a federal prosecutor commenced a prosecution in such venues to show you the criminals, the demons that need to be documented and prosecuted that don't have an existing criminal record. And that's exactly what the P.O.C. serves. The gang stalking employees are engaging in what is the federal offensive criminal summoning with the City of Fontana while they are stalking on the job inside of the library. This is relevant to what is 11:04 a.m. This is malice, okay? And that's all that demons are. They're malicious. They're liars and they're poor liars. And when Satan is surrounded with evidence, therein lies your ability to see the invisible, the fact that they are demon-possessed, maniacal in all of their efforts, and desperate to keep that concealed. This is all manner of stalking, okay? And this is P.O.C. It is currently 11:04 a.m. Criminal summoning inside of the library. Impossible audible activity. This is the City of Fontana that is monitoring on my device and is exposing the people of the state who are going to be federally prosecuted, like the City of Fontana is pleading that they do. That's exactly what's happening. It's 12:33 p.m. monitoring my device, engaging what is psychological torture, and also engaging what is the maintenance of that psychologically torturous audible activity form, the government monitoring you and using sirens to do so while you are in use of that device. The entity is monitoring as the podcast is being created. So let's just take this opportunity to introduce the world to the terrorists in the City of Fontana. They are not new, but the City of Fontana is putting the terrorists in the City of Fontana on the map, and I will be prosecuting them like every other vagina monitor in every other county in the state of California. 12:33 p.m. This is criminal summoning by the stalkers sitting in a library where they don't even cherish reading. This is P.O.C. Omnitrans is engaged in sexual assault and battery. This is San Bernardino County Fire. This is sexual assault and battery, and they're stalking. The moment that I cross the street, this demon that's already stalking in a fire vehicle begins sounding sirens. And that's because Omnitrans was intending to commit sexual assault and battery while I was on that side of the street. When I engaged in an abrupt change of activity, I crossed the street. The entity immediately sounds sirens, and this is an out-of-service bus that's engaging what is psychopathic pacing. The entity is engaging in that pattern of conduct while I am in the specific environment. This is indeed San Bernardino County. That is gang stalking. San Bernardino County doing so under the fake sun that I'm showing you at what is 8:30 in the morning and what is at the same window, Spring Street and Sierra, after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They are engaging in what is stalking with light. That's mentally ill. They're unfit to be engaged in firefighting, and that's actually fitting because they're not. They're engaged in surveillance. In furtherance of murder, which is the city of Fontana. The fire chief is being exposed. The fire chief of San Bernardino County Fire is being exposed, and he will not be remaining in position either. This is the pattern of conduct that San Bernardino County Fire Department shares in multiple cities. It is indeed a pattern of conduct that's speaking to a corrupt terrorist leader. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:40 p.m. in Fontana, California. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. The entity is monitoring. This is Sierra and Merrill, where the fake sun was documented this morning. The people of the state, this is psychopathic pacing. The entity is maintaining plane activity right here, flying over the shopping center. This is the Harbor Freight's Tool Family Dollar. And right now, Omnitrans crosses path while I'm sitting at the bus stop. And the people of the state that are stalking also as well. But Omnitrans Route 61, first they cross path with Route 19 that stops. And of course, I'm not getting on Route 19. And then they cross path with an out-of-service bus. They're gang stalking. And so is Route 19, but they're crossing path with an out-of-service bus. And right now, it's currently 8:27 p.m. and Omnitrans speeds past and does not stop at the bus stop. While not just me by myself, but the people of the state are gang stalking. And the bus does not stop. The people of the state are sharing in this ongoing harassment. They're all monitoring. Fuel up. We provide energy. It's satanic energy, by the way. They're monitoring, and I'm going to prosecute the entire city of Fontana. This is documenting the pattern of conduct underway in Fontana. They're engaging in sexual assault and battery. The entity, again, employee number 3400, engaging in what is sexual assault and battery under the fake sun. As I document these gang members, pursuant to that targeting pattern of conduct, they engage in it. This is relevant to them that are going to prison. The Omnitrans employees sharing criminal summoning with the same exact gang stalkers who are kidnapping and engaging in what is defamation, right? When they're engaging in what is kidnapping and murder while you're stalking as a police department. The entities engaged, this is sexual assault and battery. The entities engaged in this while they are targeting based on my documentation. And employee number 3400 is engaged in what is retaliation while the same bus line, been documenting for a term of years, engaging in what is harassment. They are doing so while I am at the bus stop. And this weirdo that's engaging in gang stalking by surveillance at the bus stop. This is P.O.C. This is indeed Route 61 and Route 19. This is the entity that's engaged in that pattern of conduct in concert with the people of the state. They are stalking. And the entity's pattern of what is engaging in surveillance is targeting, especially while I am documenting the fact that they are conspiring murder by gang stalking me in the city of Fontana. Aquanetta Warren is being documented for every criminal act that the city of Fontana is sharing, including being targeted by the bus line in Fontana, California. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, this is license 6FUJ619. Just documenting the people of the state that are monitoring together. These are demons engaging in surveillance. Just getting a kick out of engaging in what is harassment. These are demons that are engaging in that. License 8YPU113. It's surveillance while the entity is stalking in the sky space and stalking on the roads and the highways, sharing in sexual assault and battery. Sexual assault and battery, they're sex offenders. They're doing so through the business of Carl's Jr. That's the federal RICO. And this is the federal RICO case while the entity is engaging in what is harassment and making money while the people of the state are gang stalking. And they're also conspiring murder and making money while gang stalking. They're engaged in federal stalking under Title 18 while they're making money and gang stalking me with the people of the state. This is P.O.C. The entity is engaging. It's currently 8:30 p.m. Alrighty, here is the entity that is stalking. This is what they're doing over the Fontana Metrolink train station. This is what Amazon Prime was doing flying over my head at the Fontana Lewis Library. This is what the entity is doing while I am in the city of Ontario where there is an airport with regard to commercial planes. This is aerial surveillance where Omnitrans is engaged in what is targeting. This is psychopathic pacing. These are psychopaths. They're all stalking, maintaining light activity. There are roaches crawling all over the place in the engineered light.
This is Fuel Up, engaged in sexual assault and battery. They're sharing in harassment together as the city of Fontana. And this is the entity that's engaged in that because I am exposing the beast system in Fontana, California, and I'm going to federally prosecute the public entity. This is a mentally ill that engage in the ongoing violence while you expose them. They are demons that are violent sex offenders, them and their demon-possessed children. The government's engaging in this pattern of conduct at the Fontana Lewis Library, following and stalking with all manner of that pattern of conduct, including the entity that is stalking as a population and sharing in what is harassment. That's the character of the entity that is gang stalking. This is P.O.C. Just want to be clear on that. Fuel Up is stalking, and I'm going to prosecute them. This is P.O.C. It's the federal RICO case. David Larry 53 Charlie 38. This is P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, 8:35 p.m. where Omnitrans is stalking on the roads and the highways and as a means of harassment because they're conspiring my murder, engaging in what is passing me up at the bus stop. These are the petty tactics and very, very expensive also for them to engage in it. This is P.O.C. They're all stalking together. P.O.C. This is all sexual assault and battery. They're all stalking. P.O.C. And the city of Fontana is fully engaged in the criminal conspiracy to commit murder. And they're doing so. You see that light activity over there? These are demons. And Omnitrans engages in what is harassment, excluding me with regard to being at the bus stop, clearly visible at the bus stop, light is on, sitting where they provide, and crossing me over while you're both targeting. You're stalking me as a bus line, and then you're engaging what is targeting by passing up. And the Omnitrans has engaged in this before. This is directly relevant to the sex offender employee number 3440. Excuse me. Yeah, 3440 that I documented this morning. And the employee that I documented yesterday. The correct employee numbers are on the record, and I'm going to prosecute with regard to ongoing acts of retaliation while those co-conspirators of murder are targeting me as employees of the state. All right, because Omnitrans is a state actor. This is P.O.C. They're stalking in the past. Let me get this license, 75187Bob3. This is surveillance by the government, stalking.
And Amazon Prime was flying over the top of my head at the Fontana Lewis Library today. The airlines themselves are terrorists and they're being prosecuted, but the host of terrorism, the Ontario International Airport, is being shut down. You were seeing how every city is engaging in the pattern of conduct with commercial planes. Pomona flying over my head, stalking me, and doing so in furtherance of murder with the commercial airline plane companies, doing so while I'm in Fontana, California. The entity's maintaining this ongoing pattern of conduct while targeting in that specific environment, and where the entity is maintaining an airport that's engaging in terrorism, such as the Ontario International Airport, they will be shut down. The Ontario International Airport's been engaged in multiple kidnappings. They're engaged in sexual violence, and they are providing what is a forum. This is facilitating, enabling terrorism, while corrupt companies that are engaging in terrorism, like Amazon Prime Air, Southwest Airlines, UPS, FedEx, are engaging in this criminal conduct together with the government, which is what the gang stalking airports represent. They're going to be shut down just like the city of Ontario is going to demonstrate. They're going to be an example of it. It's 10:11 p.m. and there's no airport that Amazon Prime Air at the Fontana Lewis Library and Metro 102 apartments where the entity is doing a cartwheel over that apartment, and that's because I started recording video right now, where flying over the Metro 102, flying straight, or doing a cartwheel is equally stalking, by the way. But this is the entity that's engaging in that, and there's nothing in common with regard to what these airlines are engaging in. It's flat out stalking, and they're stalking me, and they're stalking the one that's prosecuting them. This is civil and criminal prosecution. These airlines are engaged in terrorism. I'm going to prosecute them for it, and those that are in the cockpit stalking in these planes are going to prison. P.O.C.
This is the Ontario police that were gang stalking all day long in Fontana, California, under the fake sun, that pattern of conduct. The pattern of conduct of the psychopaths that are stalking in a library in another city, engaging in the same identical conduct, such as vagina monitoring, such as harassing, stalking with impossible light, ongoing criminal activity of a satanic nature. That's what's flying over me by helicopter. And Mike LORENZ is pleading that you recognize him as the enemy of the United States that he is. and that he's going to prison, which that's exactly where he's going, while the city of Fontana shares in the criminal pattern of conduct that the Ontario Police Department are responsible for ongoing in Ontario. This is P.O.C. This is the entity that is indeed stalking me while they're watching themselves being prosecuted in Fontana, California, and in Pomona, California. And after removing my evidence, he's going to federal prison for that as well. Pay attention to what's published on April 4th, 2026, April 5th, April 6th. That evidence has been replenished, but the entity, that's a federal offense, and that evidence is sitting right there because it's adding time to federal prison. This is P.O.C. This is the entity that is engaged in that pattern of conduct, and they are stalking, as you saw the entity, just like they do at the Stater Brothers, this morning at campus and Hope Boulevard. FedEx, UPS, Amazon Prime, Southwest Airlines, engaging what is stalking on Hope Boulevard, stalking me under the fake sun where it was rising right there. This is where Comet Electric is gang stalking, where Cardenas is gang stalking, and Omnitrans gang stalking. You got a lot of people that are going to federal prison behind the Ontario Police Department, behind the U.S. government, and that's where they belong. These are homegrown terrorists that are all getting locked up. This is P.O.C. These are the mentally ill that engage in this stalking conduct. This is a vagina monitoring psychopath stalking in the dark, looking to the left and the right, and this is exactly what's getting locked up and deported out of this country. LORENZ is being put in prison for. This is stalking in plain sight. This is a whole psychopath. This is demon. These are demons with multiple shadows. Look at the light activity. Gang stalking in plain view. These are the terrorists that are getting deported out of this country and they're going to prison. They're sex offenders and they're engaging in stalking in plain view. Stalking in the middle of the night. Stalking when you are acting with that government, with the police department in plain view. This type of audacity, that's exactly why Mike LORENZ is going to prison. Don't say nothing to me. Keep walking. This is the pattern of conduct. Keep walking. Keep walking. This is the, what'd you call me? What did you call me? What did you call me? What did you just call me? What did you call me? What did you just call me? You're a little boy. What did you just call me? You're out here gang stalking, and you, what did you just call me? Where's your mother? Where's your mother? Where's your, she's going to prison. You need to watch your mouth, little boy. He's out here gang stalking with the Ontario Police Department, and instead of walking by like a little, you're a loser, you're headed straight for prison while you're out here with a bad mouth. A 16-year-old, you're a bum. I'm glad you're showing your face. This is the entity that's engaged. These are the little losers. These are demons. These are demons. And this is what the Ontario police is going to prison for. This is why you shouldn't be gang stalking with losers like this. He's a little kid engaged in the pattern of conduct. Mike LORENZ is going to prison. And he's calling me out of his name while he's outside engaged in the pattern of conduct. I've been documenting the underage thugs, these little gang members, these little vagina monitors under 18 for a prolonged period of time. And he's stalking with the Ontario Police Department and being hostile while he's engaging in that P.O.C. This is a demon under the age of majority engaging in terrorism. Absolutely nothing cool. He cannot read and he's holding up ridiculous hand signals. This is an illiterate little demon that's gang stalking in the middle of the night past his bedtime, and whoever his parents are, they're being prosecuted as well. This is P.O.C. Don't emulate this. This is going straight to hell. This is also going to be locked up in facilities throughout the country. This is P.O.C. stalking a grown woman, and would be handled if but for this investigation. This is a punk right here, and this is a punk that's gang stalking with the Ontario police. The gang stalkers of the Ontario Police Department are going to prison. And that's why you have this ongoing conduct, this loudmouth holding up signals overnight in the middle of the Ontario Town Square. This is sad. This is sad. He's showing his ashy knees while he's holding up his phone, posing in the dark, stalking somebody that is embarrassing him on the internet. This is what the United States is engaging in, stalking with teenagers that do not know how to read. This is P.O.C. See. Pay attention to this. This is a demon. He's under the age of majority. He is stalking a grown woman. He's stalking the federal prosecutor. He's putting Mike LORENZ in prison. This is criminal conduct with the U.S. government, and it's pathetic. Okay, this is a little prepubescent, demon-possessed gang stalker. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. Loitering in relevant position. Okay, this is the entity that's engaging with social media for teenagers. Teenagers that are going to be put away. You're going to go into a mental institution. This is the pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. These are the losers. These are the demons that need hooked on phonics. Out here concerned about me. Go about wherever your little teenage self is going because you're in over your head. You're getting your mom and dad in trouble. Whoever they are. Do you know who they are? Do they like you? Do you have somewhere to live? Why are you outside then stalking me? Why are you outside stalking me then? Where are you going? Why? But you're out here over by me holding up signals. Do you know how to read? Do you know how to read? No, you don't know how to read. You don't. Go about your business. Why are you still here? 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 Go somewhere. Go somewhere. These are the losers that are vagina monitors. This is a twerp who needs to be in school. This is why they don't know how to read. These are the demons that are engaging in gang stalking. They're not concerned about literacy. They're not concerned about anything else. They're engaging in stalking in the middle of the night. The middle of the night. Talking to somebody that doesn't, he's gang stalking in the middle of the night. This is what fills the city of Ontario, and it is entirely pathetic. The Ontario Police Department is being disbanded behind this nonsense. And putting it on the internet. Putting it all over the internet. Why are you out here stalking? There is nothing funny. There's nothing entertaining. You're out here stalking somebody that is putting you on the internet and prosecuting you. Are your parents homeless? You ain't got nowhere to live because you ain't got no lotion on. Why are you out here? Go somewhere. Go somewhere, little boy. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. Nobody wants you over here, though. Yeah, your mama doesn't like you. Your mama doesn't like you. You don't have nowhere to go. You're out here stalking somebody that's making fun of you, and you're insisting on being around them. This is pathetic. This is monitoring, though. This is what Satan is using under the age of 18. These are hell-bound demons. They don't have any purpose, and this is the unfortunate. This is the Nephilim, and this is the beast system. They're not engaged in anything of any purpose, and this is the pattern of conduct, and this is what they put on social media, entertaining each other. This is the entity that's engaging in that level of conduct. Mike LORENZ is gang stalking by this. All right, this is not the first gang members that I've caught under the age of 18 stalking in the path, engaging in what is conduct of cowards, okay, while they're actually exposing themselves to serious danger, because if they come across the wrong person, they're going to be dealt with in a different manner. But I'm putting it on the internet because you need to see what's going on in the U.S. government. This is gang stalking, though. It's activity creation, light activity, relevant positioning, and audible activity. And this is somebody that is out. It is currently 10:56 p.m. Stalking, this is, again, the minor children that are stalking adults that are engaging in what is harassment on behalf of the entity that's engaging in this P.O.C. And they're engaging in this conduct while their parents are sharing in that pattern of conduct as well. They also share in sexual violence with their parents. They're engaging in what is sex trafficking. They're engaged in what is the ongoing perverted pattern of conduct. While they're engaging in what is harassment on behalf of that entity, they're engaged in all aspects of the criminal system. These are ignoramuses. And he's engaged in this as though it's cool and entertaining, and it's not. He's an ignorant person. Gang stalking with those that are under the age of majority. That's what the Ontario Police, the City of Ontario, is engaging in. This is the P.O.C. This is entirely pathetic, and the federal government's going to treat the minors like the terrorists that they are. These are foolish, ignorant children. However, they're engaged in serious criminal activity, and it's not based on their inability to appreciate that. It's based on the unlawful threat posed to the American citizen. You're going to prosecute them for that. And their parents. Their parents are going to prison. Their parents are immigrants from other countries. They're getting deported. The entities engage in all manner of that criminal activity with those that are under the age of majority, and they're going to be treated as the same exact level of terrorists that are going to be treated equally under federal law. This is P.O.C. All right, this is the pattern of conduct. I want you to take a look at what are the hopeless youth in the U.S. These are demons, and it's pathetic. It's very pathetic. Whatever gave birth to it, and whatever is engaging in what is keeping it, not taking care of it, and it's outside stalking while it is engaging in criminal conduct in plain view. Very foolish, engaging in what is criminal conduct that's being fully documented and is fully exposing themselves. And now is embarrassed and doesn't know what else to do other than to just stand there and continuously look stupid. This is the pattern of conduct. This is the evidence of the entity that's under the age of majority engaging in that criminal conduct. This is P.O.C. These are the demons that engage in criminal conduct on Facebook Live. These are the fools that are under age majority. This is the type of foolishness. This is the P.O.C. All right, this is the engineer light. Just pay attention. This is all activity creation. Mike LORENZ is going to prison for this. The Ontario Police are not a police department as well. This is exactly why they're being removed from position. And he's also gang stalking with those that are even younger than this. This looks about 14 and a half. I documented the demons that are gang stalking at 6, 7, 8 years old. These are all criminals. that are engaging in terrorism with the U.S. government, stalking me by helicopter, and you're crossing paths, and this is the entity that's engaging in it. And this is also why you're looking at the entity that they're entirely hollow in their minds. They are lacking in the understanding of the significance of what they are engaging in and the responsibility that they bear under the law while they engage in it. In other words, they're getting very foolish people to engage in this criminal pattern of conduct, and they're all demons. This is P.O.C. But he starts out engaging what is talking to a grown woman, calling me what he refers to his mother as, a female dog. He's referring to his own mother while he's engaging in that. And this is somebody that is engaging in that criminal conduct in the middle of the night with clearly nowhere else to go. No friends, no one else to be around because he's outside in front of a stranger that's clearly telling him to go about your business. He doesn't have any business. He's out here gang stalking me. This is P.O.C. This is P.O.C.
You got no family or friends while you sitting on a bench.
But you're sitting outside, sitting in front of me on the bench, and that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Who said that you have jokes while you're out here entertaining me? But you won't go somewhere. You are a little kid. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. No, that's your mother. That is your mother. That's why you're sitting in my face, because that's what she is. That's why you're here, because she is that. You ain't got nowhere to go. You have nowhere to go. You have no friends. You're still sitting in my face while you're still talking. But you're not at your crib though. But you're sitting out here stalking me. You look like you're cold. You're ashy. Why are you sitting out here insisting on being in front of me? You are a child. Go somewhere and go find something to do. Go find your mother. That's the female dog that you're talking to because you're confused. You're talking about your mama. You better run. That's what I thought. That's the entity that's engaged in that pattern. These are kids. These are children. You know what? You better run. That's what I thought. You're a child. You will get stomped out. You're a child. Why are you steady coming back? Why are you steady coming back? You want a foot in your mouth? You want a foot in your mouth because you keep running. You're a child. You've clearly never had a beat down before. You've clearly never had a beat down before. Get your little punk self out of here. Stop talking about your mother. Stop talking about your... Why are you still coming back? Why are you still coming back? Why are you still... Where? Are you running away? Are you coming back? You have no friends, do you? Nobody likes you. You don't have any friends, nowhere to go. You're out here sleeping on a bench also? You don't have nowhere to go? Huh? You don't have anywhere to go. You're running away and then you're coming back. Which one is it? Go somewhere. Seriously. Wow. Okay, are you done? You're like 13. Are you done? This little kid's engaging in ongoing violence, running around, throwing stuff at me, throwing stuff. You see that? That's a battery. Mike Lorenz is going to prison for that. And he's running like a little boy. He's a 12-year-old. This is what's outside gang stalking. Are you going away now? Are you going away now? Because you're running, because you really don't want to get stomped out. You really don't want to get stomped out. You really don't. This is pathetic. This is the Ontario Police Department. See this? This is the Ontario Police. These are the demons that are engaging in that, engaging in what is battery, engaging in what is gang stalking, and it's a coward. He's running away while he doesn't want to get, I'm not going to stomp out a child on video, but this is a demon that's engaging in that, and this is somebody whose mother doesn't love him, calling his mother out of her name, stalking somebody that's clearly telling him you need to go before you get in trouble, and engaging in that pattern of conduct. Having looking like disheveled, like you haven't washed, like you're sleeping outside, and you're stalking me. Go find your mother! Go find her! Go find her! Go find your mother! That's the P.O.C. That's the demon possessed. That's their kids. That's the people of the state. Those are demons. Wicked, over and under majority. Why are you out? You go find somewhere to go. Go find somewhere. You're like 12 and a half. Go find somewhere to go. Put some lotion on your kneecaps. Running like a little punk. You're a future felon. You are already done. It's pathetic. And your mother is going to be locked up. Whoever she is that you're calling out of her name, I can see why you talk about her like that. Look at you, you're a failure, you're not even 15 yet. I'm going to have her locked up. Anything else? Because you're running like a punk. You're across the street now. You feel brave now? Go find somewhere to go. Find somewhere to go. Go find a friend. Go find your mother. Go somewhere to go. Find somewhere. Go and don't come back. Nobody wants you over here. Nobody. You ain't got no friend over here. You're clearly looking for attention. Clearly looking for a friend. You don't have one over here. Stop begging for attention. Go find your father. Where is he? Go find your daddy. This is pathetic. All of you demons, you're pathetic. You and your demon-possessed kids. You're all hell-bound losers. And you're doing it in front of everybody. This little bastard is embarrassing all of you. All of you little bastards are being embarrassed. You're being embarrassed by all of them. It's pathetic. This is the entity that is stalking and doing so, like I stated, with a minor child whose parents are engaging in the pattern of conduct in the city of Ontario and whose offspring are out in the middle of the night engaging in gang violence. It is the disbanding of the Ontario police while a teenager, a prepubescent terrorist, is engaging in what is battery on behalf of Mike LORENZ and the gang stalkers using helicopters while they are pacing in the engineer light, stalking in the path. Throwing dirt because they're embarrassed while I tell them how much they are destined for federal prison, which they are. Okay, this is the entity that's gang stalking with little kids, that is speaking to the threat that this agency is, that the Ontario Police Department are to the public. And the entity is engaging in what is ongoing surveillance. This demon's been sitting over here stalking for hours with the Ontario Police flying in circles over the venue, doing so in the engineer light, sharing in sexual assault and battery, sharing in battery with a minor child. This is gang violence. They speak as one. They're all together stalking in concert together. The demons are engaging in crossing the path while the rest of the demons are molesting with impossible light. This demon's been engaged in surveillance together and doing so with the minor kids. Okay, I put that on X so you can see an example of the demon possessed that are putting their little kids in the path to engage in vagina monitoring, to engage in stalking in the path while they are stalking together with the entity. This is the entity that's doing so at the Ontario Town Square. It's 11:55 p.m. This is P.O.C. These are the demons that are stalking on behalf of the Ontario Police Department. And they're doing so under 18 as well. They are indeed future felons. They're all stalkers. This is why they don't know how to read. They're not intended to be educated. They're intended to be engaged in monitoring. P.O.C. This is all about stalking with the government that just flew over by plane and is maintaining helicopter activity. This is P.O.C. These are the mentally ill. These are demons. This is a demon-possessed population. This is the beast system. All the people of the state are doing are stalking. And they're all sex offenders. Every single last one of them. P.O.C. This is exactly what those under the age of majority. The entity is not changing the pattern of conduct while they're under 18. Sex offenders are breeded amongst the entity. They breed sex offenders. This is P.O.C. That's what I'm documenting, and it's not the first time I'm documenting gang violence amongst the minors that are engaging in sexual violence. They're engaged in psychological torture. They're engaged in harassment. They are engaged in terrorism. And they do so with a tremendous level of ignorance, putting it on social media as though it's humorous and entertaining. That is the imbecilic conduct that I am encountering, that I'm documenting, okay? Their parents and themselves, these minor children, these are demons. These are the demon possessed. They are merely puppets. So you have the puppets that are giving birth to more puppets. Demons giving birth to demons who are stalking together. P.O.C. All right, that's the entity that's engaged in that. The Ontario Police Department are being removed based on the threat that they are. These are puppets that are in uniform that they need to be stripped of so that they can be identified as the clear terrorists and enemies of the United States that they are. They're not police officers. That's why I'm capturing little kids engaging in terrorism. That's why they're out in the middle of the night engaging in what is stalking with an agency using helicopters. Okay, and the demons that are stalking in helicopters, they have that same intellectual capacity as these prepubescent 14-year-olds with no self-control. They're on the same level, engaging in the same pattern of conduct, by the way. This is the P.O.C. Ontario police are crossing paths right now while the Ontario International Airport are stalking. And this is what is being prosecuted while I'm in Fontana, California. The city of Ontario is already prosecuted, and everyone is already aware of the fact that it is indeed over. This is a case that is already concluded, and the entity is being embarrassed as I show every detail, all the ways in which a demon-possessed entity, in which the beast system that is already in existence is executed amongst an entirely lawless population whose children are criminals, they're sex offenders, they're mentally ill, they are born this way, they're demons that are engaging in what is monitoring. This is P.O.C. It is currently 11:58 p.m.